3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 597 of the DrunkNerds Podcast. I'm host, as
Oh,
always, I'm
after
Tyler.
this
And joining me, we have
week,
the man, the myth,
I
the
hope
legend
that
himself,
it's going to
Sir
be a
Colonel Gables
chill
and Tyler, buddy.
next week. I'll tell you that much, man. I mean, it wasn't too bad at work. Obviously, busy store, busy people, lots of interesting stuff. But at the same point, man, it's been that sort of same old sort of thing this past week where it's like, come home after work, watch some YouTube, maybe some Twitch if I want to. Then I start playing a little bit of stuff on the 3DS and I unwind. There are a couple times where I feel like I am so tired. I feel like I want just to play something in bed, and then after about an hour, I drift off to sleep. Oh man! Once the football season's done and over with and stuff, obviously it's going to free up a lot more time on my Sundays, hopefully. But other than that, though, yeah, not much, man. I mean, I'm obviously kind of excited for the game for the recording for for us it's like Saturday night, so tomorrow's the Super Bowl. So it's like I'm excited to watch
Yep.
that alongside my dad because, well, for one, my dad and I, what's hilarious about this though is like it's 30 years ago almost to the day where my dad and I watched the Niners win their last Super Bowl. I mean, I was 5 or 6 years old. That's my first major football memory was that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like with my father and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not too sure how long he's going to be around because he's already in his late 70s and everything else and stuff. I really want my dad to see the Niners win one more Super Bowl. I do not care if they do not ever win another championship after this or whatever. I want my dad and I to enjoy one last go around watching the Niners win a Super Bowl, be incredibly happy, and just have that moment. That's
Yeah.
my personal wish. I mean, hell, that's just something that's been weighing on my mind this past week. But other than that, man, it's like kind of a little bit nervous. Not gonna lie, kind of a little bit nervous about tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
No.
at least, at least my dad and I are gonna be able to watch the thing. I mean, did a free trial for Paramount Plus. They have like a free week, obviously, right where the Super Bowl is coming in.
Smart.
But I know I decided like just there and then just to try it that way. Do not want to watch the Nickelodeon. I know that.
Coward.
Well, you know what? I know that some people want to watch it on Nickelodeon. I mean, mostly kids, but thing being is we would be watching on CBS, but because CBS no longer has a deal with either DirecTV or Dish or anything of that sort,
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, nobody can watch it on Channel 7 for
Damn.
CBS and stuff, and so you have to watch the Nickelodeon stuff. But I have one of my coworkers says I'm gonna go to like the casino and stuff like that to watch it there, or like go to other people's houses watching that stuff. You know, I'm like, yeah, oh, fuck that, man. I'm just gonna go and just do what I feel like doing. I just do a free trial, check
Yeah.
out the live feed as it goes on. First time I'm ever gonna go through and stream something. But yeah, man, that's just my week though. How have you been?
Incredibly depressed. I talked about last week. That I had this past week off, and
Mm-hmm.
I said last week I'm feeling great. I'm going to a week off, and then I said, but next week I'm gonna be depressed as hell, and yeah, here I am, depressed as hell. Just like it's like I don't know. I was telling you for the show, it's like my work like requires us to we have to take our vacations in 1 week like
Mm.
at a time, and I hate it because it's just like I don't go anywhere. I don't have enough money to go anywhere. Like it's February, so it's not like awful around here, but it's not like nice either. So it's like other than like taking my dog for a I don't want to, I can't WALK. Um, I really got nothing to do. So it's like by Wednesday rolls around, I'm just like I don't really know what to do here. It's like I was like I knew I was gonna be so bored. I bought Suicide Squad to give me something to do on my vacation. That's where I'm at. Keep tell
I
me you spit
almost
up your
spat
water.
my freaking no, that wasn't my water. That's my freaking Dr Pepper. I almost
Uh,
spat my Dr Pepper over my new computer here
yeah,
because of
that would have
freaking
sucked. Yeah.
just the thought that you were so bored throughout this thing, you literally bought Suicide Squad just to entertain yourself.
Well, I mean, entertain is a few steps higher than I'd be willing to go, but just to kill some time,
Oh,
honestly.
just to kill some time, just a little
Yeah,
endurance run for you.
pretty much. Yeah, it's like that, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Just been But yeah, it's been nice like sleeping and everything like that. But yeah, but like by the time like Wednesday rolled around, like Wednesday afternoon, I was just like, I don't know, like the depression started to hit because I'm like, well, it's getting close to the weekend, which that means it's almost the end of like my vacation. But I don't know. I'm also just like, I really don't really know what to do. Just kind of, so I just kind of feel like the last like 3 days have been like I've been playing like a lot of Last of Us, which has been fantastic. But just like I don't know. Other than that, it's just like it's not a game I want to play for like 5 hours straight. It's a very intense game,
Understood.
so it's tough to play. So like other than that, it's like I'm just like feel like I'm just like wasting time. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm doing all right. It's first world problems here. I'm looking forward to Super Bowl. I'm not wearing my Taylor Swift jersey because I'm rooting for the Chiefs. Gable, that's not a jersey. It's a Taylor Swift T-shirt. I'm not wearing that because I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I really don't care who wins this. I mean, obviously, I want you to be happy and your dad to be happy, but
Mm,
as
thank you.
a fan of the game itself, I don't really care who wins. So, uh,
Understood. I've been there.
yeah. So it's just like I'm just gonna watch. Like, I'm just hoping for a good game. So that's where I'm at. I just wearing the shirt because I'm a Swifty. So, um, but yeah, other than that, doing great, doing fine. Could be worse. But anyways, if you guys like the show and want to continue supporting us, or want to support us more, you can just subscribe to us on YouTube, like our shows, share with friends. Same thing on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spotify. Excuse for burping in the mic. Twitter, Facebook, all those things. If you want to just follow us there, 5-star reviews, leave comments, stuff like that. Tell your friends. Really would appreciate if you did that for us. We're just we're two guys. We have full time jobs, and we just do this because it's fun, and we don't make any money. We just do it because we love video games and love talking about them. So without further ado, Gables, let's jump into it. It's been a busy week for content.
Yeah.
I will say the first few days was kind of nice because we recorded like Saturday, and then like we did like an emergency pod on Sunday or Monday for the Xbox up, and then I did a live react on Tuesday for Final Fantasy. So I was like, that was nice. And then it was just like after that, it's just like okay. But anyways, we we kind of did a emergency pod about Xbox and like possibly going third party, and all the rumors are out there. And then
Yeah.
feels like we hear you. We're gonna talk about it next week. Um, so it's been about a week now. We did this on Monday afternoon. It's now Saturday night. Um, is anything? Are you feeling any different, or like is there anything else you like? Maybe we didn't touch upon that you want to touch upon, or how you feeling now, Gables? About a week later.
All right. Well, nearly a week removed from our emergency podcast that we had. Oh, well, honestly, I really don't feel too much like different though. I'm just kind of waiting and seeing what the response is going to be here from Microsoft during their initial conference this coming week, just to clarify things. But yeah, there's definitely still a lot of questions that need to be answered here, and not by like random people that have certain insider knowledges and stuff, because there's conflicting things on that
Yeah,
front as well. So
correct.
you're not sure what in the world is real and what isn't at this moment in time. So anybody could just go and just spout something now, and people would think it'd be believable. And
Yeah,
that's not the type of thing that we need right now. It's like for fans of gaming, especially for like fans of Xbox right now, they need clarification from Microsoft in general. So there's nothing really I want to add too much to it.
yeah. I'm kind of with you. Like that's kind of the way I felt for pretty much the whole time now. Was just like the problem is it's so easy to go doom and gloom, and I was kind of a little disappointed in myself because I was like when we did the podcast because it was like I wanted to stay away from the doom and gloom, but it's so easy to just go down that rabbit hole of like,
Well,
well,
yeah,
if this, what about therefore? Then the problem, like I said, even in that show was like, problem is right now it's like it's so easy to go down that rabbit hole because you don't, it's we don't have any information, so it's just like so easy. It's like this is how like I don't know. It's just you can see how people like turn into conspiracy theorists when they take like the tiniest like shred of like truth and then like well if this happened so maybe this happened and then the next thing you know steel beams can't get melted by well anyways uh, anyways um uh I don't know like yeah I'm gonna wait especially now like I said like we're seeing like really reliable sources that like have been on top of this in the beginning like especially on the Xbox side of things leaking out this information, reporting on it, um, are now like infighting and backtracking on certain things they
hmm
said. And like some are saying like, oh, Starfield isn't going third party, and then some people are saying yes, it is still. So I feel like it's just like a matter of time before, we're gonna. I hope it's kind of what I said on Monday is like I think Phil really needs to like nail this message, and I hope it's not just like the thing we see all the time where it's just like gonna be like a green logo, like a green background with like yellow lettering, a white lettering, and it's just like a word salad. Here's a 2 paragraphs that say nothing. Overall, it's like it's gonna be a. I don't even want to say it's a case by case basis. Like I'm like I don't want them like I'm not saying like you need like 100% like nail down everything because the problem is like
Mm-hmm.
if you have to pivot later on, people are gonna take that and run with it. Um, like people are already freaking out because Phil Spencer. Like now people are saying that he committed perjury during the FTC report because like some of the things like based off of this reporting here, and people are like just running with or saying he perjurized himself because of things he said during this, which we don't know for a fact. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if this is
I
gonna
think that's
happen,
a little
even
bit too over the
yeah,
over
exactly.
the top here.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I just think he needs to have like a good message. He needs to say it smartly and like at least like a somewhat clear outline here of like if it's like hey like the legacy titles that are Xbox Game Studio games like talking like the holy trinity of Forza and Gears and Halo and then like even games like Fable and things that are like when you think Xbox you think these titles these IPs these
Yes.
franchises like hey these are not coming but like things that like yeah like a Bethesda game that like we still haven't got to the point yet where like I think we like we know Xbox owns it but we don't like when we think Bethesda we don't think Xbox um at least not quite yet. And even still, during when they do the Summer Game Fest stuff, they even still say Xbox and Bethesda, So they haven't even fully and like so. Anyways, like I don't know, like if they end up breaking that down and it's like a year later, like that's fine. Like I don't think that's a big ordeal. Like if Starfield comes out this fall and it's been over a year, and that's what they come out and say like, hey, Hellblade 2 is gonna come to PS5, 12 months later. Like I don't, I still feel like if you're an Xbox owner, if or like you're looking at someone buying a console, it's like, hey, like you can still play day one on Game Pass and have all the other great things that come with Game Pass. Like I still love Game Pass. I think it's a great service. Or you can wait a year and then play these on the PS5 and pay us $70. So kind of what do you want to do? So I mean I don't know. I still feel like obviously case by case. If you're someone that can't like this thing has been very frustrating to me. Like I'm going on a rant here, Gables. I apologize. Um, this has been very frustrating. I've listened to a lot of content creators, a lot of people talking about this, or like the problem is like they talk about how it affects them. And it's like, okay, but you're like reporting, like you're supposed to be reporting on the news, talking about how this like affects the gaming industry as a whole, and like
Right.
like and the problem is like, yeah, okay, cool, you have a superpower, you have a $2,000 PC, you already have all 3 consoles. Like
Mm-hmm.
most people that don't, like yeah, Gables and I, yeah, we have all 3 consoles, so it doesn't really majorly affect us either. But
No, not really.
the way I try to look at it from the lenses is like people that like they only bought one, or maybe they buy a Switch and they pick like, okay, well we got to pick one, or maybe they just get one altogether, and it's just like, you can only get a
What if they're
PS5.
like exactly like what if they're like just like an 18-year-old like adult or someone that just has their first job, want to get their first system, and that was their first system, and they want to stick with that.
Yeah,
I mean, they're kind of locked down to just one option. I'm kind of trying to see the viewpoint of the consumer that only decided to invest in one system because they like playing those type of games on Xbox platforms. That's
yeah,
more so for them and stuff instead of just focusing more on us where we have every freaking
yeah,
game thing.
yeah. And I can get like it's easy for me to like sit there. I'm like, oh, well, whatever. It's not like, but it's like I don't know. That's the way I look at it. Is like when I try to think of these things, like like I feel like I'm stuck. It's like I feel like Dusty Rhodes here, the common man. Um, about how like yeah like or like if you're a teenager and you get to rely on your Christmas gifts and birthdays and like it's like hey like you tell your parents like like your parents can only afford maybe to get you one of the two and it's like that's a
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like if you're a kid and it's like you're only getting games like like when I grew up like I only got one console I like I mean it was not like I was like really, like I was like had a bad childhood here, but like I got one console, and I usually got like a Game Boy or the somebody I got the Game Boy and I got like one of the big 3 consoles and I picked GameCube, and and I had the Game Boy, and if you're a kid like that, and especially the price of these consoles, the way everything is nowadays, everything's really expensive. It's like maybe you can only get one. It's like that's a it's a tough decision for that kid, where it's like cool, like I don't know. Anyways, um, that was just very frustrating. Like when I listened, like Paris Lilly's like the one person like this week, like I was following him on Twitter. I was reading a lot of his tweets and stuff like that, and he was like the only one that was consistently like I felt like kind of got it from all perspectives. Like he talked about his perspective, he talked about what it meant for the gaming industry, and he talked about what it meant for just the regular gamer that maybe doesn't even know this is happening right now, but
Yeah.
maybe they will or whatever. Anyways, I'm we don't know when it's going to happen. I imagine they'll probably say something Monday. At least I hope so. And like maybe not like hey like tell us the answers on Monday, but give us like a timeline on Monday. Like hey like expect something Tuesday, but we don't even know what it is. Like, is it going to be a message? Is it going to be a video? Is it going to be the a Twitter with the like I said, a screenshot with some like like the Cyberpunk it was getting delayed. Like it's the yellow background with the black lettering. Like
Or maybe they're just gonna post a video or something about a Viking funeral.
yeah. Phil Spencer's just shooting an arrow and like a fire arrow, and it's gonna land. And it could be Senua doing it to an Xbox. I don't know.
Like an Xbox Series X, and it's just going off into the sun. It's going
Yeah,
off into the night.
yeah. I hope
I'm
not, man.
sorry, I'm making light of this
Yeah.
though, but at the same
No,
time, the
no.
visual is
I
kind of
mean,
funny.
it's video games. Like in the end, it's like it's not that serious, but it's just like I get it from a consumer standpoint. Like I don't know. Everybody needs to calm down. They're being too loud. I had to get one Taylor Swift quote in there. I'm sorry, but yeah, we'll wait and see. I just hope that like they come up Monday, like and tell you like, hey, expect news, Tuesday or Thursday. I'm assuming maybe not Wednesday because it's Valentine's Day.
Mm.
Maybe Tuesday or Thursday. If it's Friday afternoon, I'd say maybe be concerned because that's like bad news dump day, news dump time. But maybe for gamers, but I don't know. Like we'll do. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it a lot next week. But yeah, I don't know. But I hope they just give us like I said, a timeline soon. So maybe that will kind of help bring everybody down a little bit. I don't know. It kind of sucks. It all kind of. Anyways, we can move on here. Yeah, let's get in some crazier news here.
Yeah.
So about the Nintendo quarterly reports here. We got a lot of information. I just love how Nintendo does this, where like Nintendo, luckily all they do, well, they consider themselves a toy company, but they're what they do is video games. So like they pretty much like we're PlayStation and Xbox because they are just they're small pieces of a pie in a big company. We don't get a lot of information about how well their games sell or even the console sales. Xbox doesn't report on sales anymore. We usually only ever get an update on the PlayStation sales like every like 10 million or so. I know recently it just passed 50 million. It's like selling faster than what the PS4 did. Um, but anyways, we got some information here about the Nintendo Switch. So overall, so this is everything here is all from December 31st. So nothing in 2024 yet. So this is all Q3, fiscal year Q3 2023. So overall, compared to the last fiscal year, Switch sales are down about 8%, but still sold 13.7 million units. Total Switch now is at 139.4 million. It's about 16 million shy of the PS2. Software sales are down about 4.7 million, which not too surprised there. This is pretty crazy, Gables.
Yes.
The first part here isn't. The next part is 24 titles sold at least 1 million units during the fiscal year so far.
Okay.
Which I don't know how impressive. I don't know if like because
And that's in the fiscal year, right?
So far, yeah. So this is the first 9 months of the fiscal year. Obviously, we're still in the last quarter of the fiscal year.
Yeah.
I don't know how impressive that is because obviously, like we don't get sales information a lot on PS5 and Xbox One and Steam stuff like that. So I'm sure they probably get a lot more because they get the Call of Duty. They get Star Wars, Call of Duty, shit like that. But the impressive part is the next part here. Of those 24 titles that sold 1 million units, 17 were first party.
Wow, dude. I mean, that's kind of not surprising because of how much people really covet like a lot of those first party Nintendo games, but at the same point, 17 out of the 20 some odd
24, yeah.
The 24 like some odd like games for the Switch, I mean that's just a testament, man. People really want to invest like say like games like Mario Kart 8 or Smash Brothers or like Mario Odyssey, like all those games that are like labeled Nintendo exclusive, I mean, there's probably a reason why they're so successful with this type of thing, man. But still, it's crazy to think that so many of them are not only first party, but like over $1 million just inside of one fiscal like quarter.
Yeah, well, this is over 9 months of a fiscal.
Oh, over
Yeah,
nine
this
months.
is so far for the year, not just for the 3 month period.
Okay, okay. So just for
Sorry
the
about
year.
that.
Got it.
Yeah. But and I mean, because I'm trying to think of like how many first party games came out last year, like so for
Um,
in
there's a
yeah,
couple I can think of. There was
like there's
Pikmin 4. There was Fire Emblem Engage. There was Tears of the
Fire Emblem Engage
Kingdom.
was Fire Emblem Engage was the last fiscal year. So this is
Oh,
everything from
okay.
April 1st of last year to December 31st of last year.
Well, shit.
So
If that's the case, then all I
so
can think of is Tears of the Kingdom and
there,
Pikmin 4.
Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, Mario RPG, Mario Wonder,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Metroid Remastered that came out in February, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So is that just so basically what four? I don't know if I don't think that Bayonetta game that weird one they put out. I don't know if that counts as first party, but I don't think it sold 1 million units either.
I'm
So
not sure if that's like Bayonetta Origins actually sold over a million. I don't know about
yeah, I
that.
don't. I mean, maybe they could have announced it, but usually they announce
It
that stuff.
could have.
But
I mean, they could have like announced it if they did cross that threshold. But God, I think that game probably did like it didn't sell too well inside of physical retail, from what I understand. I
yeah,
mean, I'm not sure about the numbers and stuff, but if I had to take a guess, maybe it was like about 500,000,
yeah.
possibly.
Well, because I know Bayonetta 3 like was kind of a disappointment sales wise, so like
Mm.
it still sold multiple millions, but it's like only a couple, and they were like, I think it sold less than the Bayonetta 2 remaster that we got, so
Oh,
um, or maybe it's close to that. I can't remember, but anyways, so far this is what we have for like of the three games that came out kind of the latter half of the year. Um, Mario Wonder, which came out in the first week or no end of October,
yeah, that's right.
11.96 million units. Mario RPG that came
Wow.
out in mid-November, already at 3.1 million, which already outsold Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo. And then Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 was already the best-selling Pikmin game of all time. It's now at 3.3 million. So uh,
Excellent.
pretty crazy that like even like these smaller tier like I don't know. I'm not like saying they're like bad like not at all. Like they're still good games, but like they're like on the like Nintendo scale, they're like these are like C tier franchises like Mario RPG and Pikmin 4, and they still sell 3 million units. So I'm sure like like Luigi Mansion 3 is like almost 14 million units. Like and I put that like a C tier. As much as like I love Luigi's Mansion, it's probably one of my favorite franchises, but I'd still probably put that in C tier, maybe bottom of B tier. I don't know. Um,
I definitely would see it as the lower end of like a B tier, but
I don't know. Like, well, there's more Pikmin games than there are Luigi's Mansion, so I don't know. Uh,
well, I
I
understand
don't
that,
like.
Tyler. I
I
understand
guess
that.
unless like if we're gonna like do S, if we're gonna like say S tier, A tier, B tier, I'd probably put it in B tier. But uh, Captain Toad unfortunately is probably like in C tier, probably maybe even D tier. I don't know. They only made one. It's bullshit. Anyways, digital sales are up about 11%, and I kind of went through a bunch of their graphs and stuff. Like they do a really great job of like breaking the shit down. So they're out there. If you just like look, like just Google Nintendo financial or quarterly reports, it'll be the first thing that pops up, and it takes a little bit to find. There's like I always gotta like click around until I find them. There's like 3 or 4 different things you can go through, but they like the slides are fantastic. Like I'm not sitting there acting like I fully understand everything, but yeah, like there's some really great details there if you want to learn a lot more information on it. But we do have some other information. Like I said, the Switch is at 139.36 million. Did I say 96 at the top here? I said three. No, I said 139.4. So if you want to be specific, it's 139.36 million. They've sold 1.2 billion software units. They're still second though all time in sales for software behind the PS2. What's
Yeah.
crazy is like you would think like obviously like there's so many more games out nowadays, and there's like so many like dirt cheap ones on like these consoles that you would think that like they would just explode past that PS2. There's still like 300 million behind the PS2, which is just insane because like
That
you know
is.
like most games like cheapest game were like $20 back then, and like now like you can just buy games for fucking pennies on like the PlayStation on like any of the consoles nowadays. Um, yeah, it's I don't know, it just blows me away. Um, so, anyways, I'm trying to. I thought I had some other information I want to talk about, but I do not. All right, let's get to some of the top selling games on the Switch. We're gonna start here. I believe this is the top 10 list here. Yeah, top 10. So, starting from number 10 here, number 17.2 million units so far. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Um, Tears of the Kingdom already in the top 10 here at 20.28. So already in the 20 million club. Which, all right, obviously I'm going to preface this with obviously this is still a really good number. Um, Obviously it's already over 20 million. What did surprise me though is in the quarter of like that holiday quarter from October through December, only sold about 700,000, which is still impressive. But surprised it only sold 700,000 in like that 3 month span. But I don't know. I mean, I wonder if it's just one of those games that like, like most people that wanted it already bought it kind of thing. So I don't know. That was kind of surprised. But you see like all like these like other games, like talk about there's 17 first party games that sold over a million units in a 9 month period on the Switch, and only 4 new first party games came out last year. So that means there's 13 other older franchises that sold million units last year. But anyways, moving on. Next up here, Mario Party at 20.34. Super Mario Party rather. So I forgot there was two. Um, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is already at 24.36 million. I feel like it's got a pretty good shot of passing Sword and Shield. That's just above it at 26.17. So about 1.8 million behind. So um, I wouldn't.
And they just released like the form, like another like version of like Scarlet and Violet and stuff that includes the DLC with
I
it
was going to ask you that.
at
Okay.
retailers. I mean, that for a full $60, so it's like,
Okay. I was going to ask if they had done that yet. So I'm sure that will definitely boost it too. Mario Odyssey here at 27.65. Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild here at 31.61. Smash Bros. Ultimate 33.67. Animal Crossing New Horizon at 44.79. And that's, I mean, it's slowed down quite a bit. Animal Crossing has. So um, it's still, I mean, obviously it's still extremely impressive. It's still selling a little bit, but it's not like you look at these other ones. You go quarter by quarter, you can see a decent jump every quarter, or at least every year. You can look and see a decent jump. Animal Crossing is, I don't want to say falling off a cliff, but it's definitely yeah, I don't know. It's not doesn't have the
it's been
legs.
out for almost 4 years now.
Yeah, some of these games have been out longer and they're like still selling like crazy. So,
Yeah,
but I mean, we talk about like Animal Crossing definitely got that COVID boost, and yeah, it just like kind of like once COVID was over, it's kind of like selling
yeah.
like you would think it would sell.
But this is the
Um,
kind of like trend though with like Animal Crossing games in general, to where
yeah,
you'll play them for a while and stuff like that, but they really last like maybe like the part of like the console generation of it itself. I mean, I'm speaking more or less from like say with DS, with 3DS, with like maybe not so much with the Wii because like City Folk really wasn't that great in that
right,
aspect. But for this one, I mean, it has definitely lost plenty of steam, especially with that after the Happy Home Designer like DLC stuff like that came out for it. But
yeah,
it's kind of like a trend for the Animal Crossing games. Well, they'll be out, they'll still remain popular for a few years, and then all of a sudden they'll just kind of dive right off and stuff because a lot of people have already played through that game, and like probably for like maybe 3 or 4 years at this point, and there's only so much you can do before it starts.
yeah.
It's like I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like it was a perfect game for like because it came out right before COVID hit, and it
Yep.
was the perfect game to play during that time because everybody's stuck at home. And yeah, there's a lot of people that like I played 600 hours of that game, but it's like how many people would have done that if COVID didn't hit? So I don't
Mm,
know.
who
Um,
knows?
yeah, I mean, a lot more people bought this game and probably played a lot more because they're like, I'm just stuck inside. So I'm gonna play this like it's pretty miserable around here, so I'm just gonna play this like charming little positive, colorful game instead. Um, and then last but not least here, number one, no shock here, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I'm not talking shit about Animal Crossing New Horizons. Obviously, it's one of the best. It's blown everything out of the water. I'm just saying, when you look at like, it's just not the sales are not keeping up with all the other big Nintendo IPs that came out during the Switch.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you look at like, like just the Switch is just fucking, it's Barry Bond. It's just like pumped full of steroids of like as far as sales go. Um, don't sue me, Sarah. Allegedly, Barry Bonds, you're on steroids. Anyways, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 60.58 million units sold. So I do want to point out though, I always got to point out, I'm a little upset. I feel like I definitely feel like we got to put an asterisk next to this one, like we do fucking like Mark McGuire or something, because this does include console bundle sales, so that is part of it.
Right.
And this Mario Kart 8 has been the holiday bundle game every year since 2018. So Gotta keep that in mind. So it's definitely been
Yeah.
boosted quite a bit. Because of that. So I don't know. I mean, anything kind of stand out to you, surprise you about the? I mean, we're going. I mean, this is the 7 year anniversary is a few weeks away,
Yes, it
and I
is.
mean, this thing is still. They're still thinking they're going to sell um, another million or so this quarter here that we're in currently.
You know,
Um,
I'm more inclined to believe them because of the momentum is still kind of like, I mean, obviously it's down at this point because it's 7 years on the market for the Nintendo Switch, and the tech has been like ever some more apparent showing and stuff of this. They
yeah,
need something to be upgraded and stuff. But I'm not so surprised is because we are already getting like some interesting games that are going to be coming out in the span of the year. I mean, there's going to be a lot of which we don't even know about right now, but yet we're still seeing like potential remakes, potential like say like see maybe like little D tier type of games that from that kind of perspective, I mean, the Princess Peach game is going to be coming out fairly soon, which there's going to be a few people that are going to want to pick that up and stuff. But
Mario Donkey Kong comes out next
yeah,
week, I believe Friday. I want to say.
God, I forgot all about that, dude,
Yeah, the
because it's
demo's
like
out now, so
the demo, yeah, the demo is out there for those that want to go for it and try it. I think it's the remake of the Game Boy Advance
yeah,
original and stuff. Which, you know what? It's Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I mean, the puzzle stuff, they're fine and stuff. I mean, I know from my personal time trying to play a little bit of Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I mean, it's all right though, but it's no Donkey Kong 94. I'm
yeah,
sorry, it's not Donkey Kong 94 to me, which
yeah,
I feel like that's a better game personally. But it's still like reminiscent like where Nintendo are putting out first party games. They may not be as big as say Eight Tears of the Kingdom or like say even like a Metroid Prime remaster or something. But still, you're gonna have like we have those games coming up, and then obviously the Thousand Year Door remake that's later on this year.
yeah, and Luigi Mansion 2.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. Is that
yeah.
the Grezzo one or?
I don't think it's. I don't know. They haven't confirmed who's making it. It's not Grezzo. We don't know what Grezzo's doing yet. Um,
Yeah, that's the thing though. I'm not. I mean, who's doing that port for?
you
Is
know,
it
Nintendo is
Ilka?
they don't tell you like they tell you wait for the credits come out. It's like we didn't find out who
Huh.
was. We didn't find out who's. Oh, no, we don't know. We have Next Level Games.
Okay, next level games. Yeah, I'm
Or
interested in
wait,
wanting to play that.
or is it maybe? No, I'm looking at the. No, they made the 3DS version.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's making that. I don't think we know. You know, like
Huh.
yeah, like Nintendo wouldn't even tell us who was voicing Mario until the game. You guys like, hey, you gotta watch the credits. It's like, come on.
Oh my
So you
gosh.
know how they like keep it very secret who's making what. So, um, yeah. So we have no idea. But
But yeah, that Luigi's Mansion 2, like that remaster and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that on the Switch, and that's gonna be a fun time.
yeah, like this is kind of, it's obviously when you look at it, it's like I feel like yeah, definitely this is gonna like a kind of an underwhelming year so far. What we're looking at for Nintendo,
Right.
like it's like if you are a fan of those things, yeah, maybe you're excited for it, but I don't know. Like I'm like I said, I'm not looking forward to like Mario vs. Donkey Kong is like definitely like, okay, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel now of just like putting
Yeah,
things out
I
for
agree.
this. It's like I mean the fact that Miyamoto is allowing a Thousand Year Door to be put out because like we've like there's all like everybody's people like developers that talk about that game like he hates that game for what they for some way they use the characters in their story. So like the fact that like either like he was very busy on Mario the Mario movie and if we just like they snuck it by him like he still has no idea it's coming out. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's definitely like a year where I'm just like
Yes, this is
I don't know.
definitely it's definitely like what you're saying though. It's like it's the twilight of the Nintendo Switch's life cycle. I
Yeah,
mean, it's more than apparent. Remasters, slow churns and stuff until finally it's like they'll have another year or two or so on the market, maybe release something here or there for like coincide what is also compatible with their next system. But yeah, it definitely feels like we're on the cusp of a reveal.
yeah. God, man, if we're not like what the fuck, like man, if we have like another year of like this is like what we're looking at because I don't yeah like I think last holiday was like the final like real hurrah of the Switch. So
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine. Like I'm definitely I'm like I don't know. Like I'm looking for like I love Mario Thousand Year Door. But part of that is like I wonder how much like how much will I like that game now? Like after playing Mario RPG and just kind of I thought I could play like 5 hours of it. And I'm like I'm just kind of bored, and stopped playing it. I didn't think it was bad. I was just kind of bored with it, and I'm just like, man, like I wonder, like, am I gonna knock on like thousand your door? Because like, I mean, that's how much of that is nostalgia. I don't know, but I don't know. It's like I'm not really like looking forward to Princess Peach. Like, I don't know. Like that's not really doing anything for me. Mario vs Donkey Kong. Like,
Well,
I didn't
man, I
like
don't
the
blame you. I mean, come on, Princess Peach, Marvel vs. Donkey Kong. Those don't seem like the type of games though that would really catch maybe say our interest as much. Only because it's like it's not the kind of like experiences that we're kind of used to playing on like Nintendo systems itself. It's more aimed towards like younger audiences for especially the Peach game
yeah.
itself, which it looks like one of those sort of like in the veins of like say Yoshi's like Crafted World or something, where it's like
Yeah, I think it's the
it's
same
tailor
team.
made for a kid's
Yeah,
experience.
I'm sure like that's good. That's probably a game that's like aimed at a lot of like young girls and stuff too. They're probably gonna love that.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it definitely does not seem like a me game or like a us game. Luigi's 2, like I didn't really care for Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 3DS, so I don't know
Right.
like if I'm gonna care for it on the Switch. I almost said Wii U, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, and then like I said, I already talked about Thousand Year Door, but there's been some new information apparently that we might actually hear about the new Switch, the next console, whatever you want to call it, next month in March. Um, and like people have been hearing GDC is apparently a place that could happen, the Game Developer Conference. So that you could see that. Like also, it could be a case where like there was that rumor last last year where oh hell, what's that conference in Europe in August?
Oh
That
boy.
Keeley does for opening night live for. I'm having a brain fart on it, but it's basically. Anyways, I can't think of it.
I I can't think of it, but I understand which one you're talking about because we have talked about that specific rumor.
Gamescom.
Gamescom, that's
Yeah, so
right.
that's that big one. So a lot of people, there was a lot of people thinking that they were going to announce the Switch, the new, or they were going to announce it there, and then it come to find out later on was they were showing it because there's a lot of game devs there, in Europe, and a lot of people from Japan that were coming there because it's closer. So we come to find out later on that oh no, they were like that was like the first time a lot of developers were actually seeing the new hardware, or at least getting an idea of the power and what it could be. So I'm wondering if the same thing maybe where it's like GDC is it's a game developer conference. Maybe there's probably gonna be a lot of people there. It's the United States, so a lot of people that might be able to get to see it for the first time as well there.
Yeah.
But all you can see because I don't know. You look at Nintendo outside of the NX because they kind of had to announce that one. Like they announced it like in 2014, 2015. They kind of had to announce that because like the Wii U was dead obviously by then. It was like I wonder like how long do they have to like actually like really need to like push this thing? You look at like most of the time it's like what they announced they revealed the Wii U I think at E3 and it was out in November. Um, the Switch they did that trailer for in October. They revealed everything in January and it was out in March. Um, the Wii did the same thing where the Revolution was at E3. They showed everything at Tokyo Game Show in September and it was out in
Yes.
November. Um, so I feel like they could probably do the same thing. Obviously, we don't have an E3 anymore, but I'm thinking like if say a thing comes out in September, I mean I don't know. You can I guess you can reveal it in March. That's about 6 months out. So I don't know. Makes sense. You can do the like people doing the mental gymnastics about the Xbox shit. Like worst case scenario, you can do the mental gymnastics to talk yourself into the fact that hey, it might be there. What about you, Gables?
You know what? That'd be kind of interesting. I've also heard like I also checked into the various rumors though about maybe potential reveal in March as well. But I think that barring where we're heading right now, it definitely would be a possibility to where if we hear something in March, like a reveal or like even more rumors about potential what this system is what it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like, because we can go forth and guess kind of like what we would like to see for the actual handheld itself. Because, well, it's if let's just say we do have like an announcement, like say next month March and stuff for like this new console reveal and stuff. I just personally hope that we're not waiting like more than like say 6 months in order to try to play it,
Yeah.
And I'm kind of personally hoping that Nintendo, when they do reveal a system, that not only is it backwards compatible to Switch stuff, obviously, but
Oh, I'm gonna lose my
it
shit if it's not.
well, absolutely. A bunch of people will lose their shit with that. But I hope they keep on the same type of route because let's look at the trends that's going on in the gaming industry right now to where some of the most successful gaming systems right now are dockable and playing handhelds. I mean, let's look at that, man. Like how successful the Steam Deck has been and stuff, whether else like
Yeah.
LED and their OLED Steam Deck and stuff, and how so many people love to play that device. Look at all the other type of like other handhelds that
ROG
are like
Ally.
portable PCs and stuff like the ROG Ally.
Well,
That's
and then the
excellent.
PlayStation Portal, like I don't, we don't know how much it's sold, but that thing is like selling out as soon as it goes into stock. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
selling.
exactly.
So
Yeah, and that's the Portal. That's something that just
it's
streams
a,
something
yeah,
from
it's a
your
cloud one.
PS5 and stuff.
Yeah,
It's a cloud one. It's not even like a dedicated like game system, say like with a Switch or even like a Steam Deck, and it's still selling to that extent. There's actually a bigger market than what we've expected in terms of like say handheld stuff to even like rumored like Xbox, PlayStation stuff potentially having their own type of things. But to get back what I was saying, it's I'm personally hoping that it's more of an elaboration on the current Nintendo Switch, what we do have. Hopefully, maybe they pull some sort of like technical like gymnastics or something like that with Nvidia or who else they were working with in order to
it's
develop the
Nvidia. Yeah,
yeah with Nvidia or something. Because I've because I personally hope it has something to do with like sort of like upresing type of techniques and stuff with say like with certain AI forces
DLSS.
with yeah like the DLSS stuff. I would love to see that in play because even if they cannot afford to have these specific type of parts to make it like a souped up like say okay you can do like 4K or 60 frames per second and stuff but having those type of techniques and stuff to make it easier to make it look like that is close or perform to that level for their games that they've had on their Switch for like god for that entire library and maybe like having it to where if like see you're playing a game like Scarlet and Violet right then all of a sudden you put it in this new system and it automatically just improves the performance of this damn
Yeah,
thing.
like hey, like it actually runs
That
at.
would be amazing to me.
To me, it's like if the new Switch comes out and it just runs at 30, that'd be great. But yeah, like I think like people like I don't know like people were talking about 4K. I wouldn't be shocked if like they like docked its 4K, but I feel like if like really with Nintendo is like if we can just like have a steady 1080 60, I feel like most gamers would be pretty happy with that. I mean for
Absolutely.
maybe not most, but I feel like most like a lot of people that are like understanding. Obviously, you gotta take like the Twitter, the internet people off like that just lose their fucking minds over everything. But I don't know, like
But for the
for like
common everyman, that would be enough for
yeah,
some people to go forth and play like
yeah
that.
for for the people that that dine on pork and beans, those those folks that yeah like or you play with your kids, you just want like 1080 60 like even for me like I love like I'm a sucker for the most beautiful like goddamn games you've ever seen like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 and like Last of Us and shit like that. Like I love those like absolutely gorgeous games, but like I don't know, like Nintendo, like I just have a different expectation for them, and like if they can just give me a stable 60 frames per second and it just runs at 1080, like I'm fine with that. Like honestly, like and if docked, you get me 4K, or even like you can kind of like you do like the fake 4K. I don't know, that's pretty good. Um, that's kind of all I want from them. Yeah, like I think for the most part they know like you're always gonna have that part of gamer that just won't play it because of the way it looks. Um,
Mm.
but like they know like their audience like they're not they're not that's not who they're going for. They're going for you know the every man, the common man. Why are we quoting Dusty Rhodes so much in this podcast? It's so weird. But anyways, yeah, if we can if they're just going for like the ocean. I think they would like the Wii and the DS and all that like. It was just like the blue ocean, like the ocean fat came over. We're like, we're just going for it. We're going for this everything instead of like focusing on like these people and stuff like that. So, and obviously like it's like Pokemon. Like there's always gonna be a new 8-year-old. There's always gonna be new 8-year-olds with you can always create new Mario fans. So and Zelda fans
Absolutely.
and so on and so forth. So, yeah. The next thing Gabe was like obviously I don't think anybody's actually gonna guess the name because it's probably gonna be something fucking stupid. But we know coming off the Wii U, we know more than ever how important a name can be.
Yep.
And I was saying with the other day, Gables, like I would love it. We were doing those E3 memories and like rewatching old ones. The next one we want to watch, we gotta do one here soon. I want to watch the 2012 Nintendo the Wii U reveal one. I don't think we watched that one yet. Uh, I
Oh,
want to watch that one because
oh,
that's a moment I want to go back and watch. Maybe when they reveal it, the new Switch, we go back that week and we watch that old one. But
I think I'd be more inclined to do that, dude.
yeah. Um, but like we obviously know how important like a name and obviously like they like the Wii at that, but the last like couple years of the Wii, like people weren't buying games for it anymore. People I think people were kind of over the Wii at that
People were
point.
burnt out at that point.
Yeah. So they totally misread the audience, or obviously they're probably, or maybe they're just too far into development they couldn't pivot, but also maybe they could have pivoted the name. But man, like I don't, just calling it the Switch 2 would be the easy thing to do. And I know there's gonna be Nintendo fans and a lot of gamers that's just like I don't like that, like I don't love it either, but it's like it's the easiest thing that like like iPhone 16, PS5, or the next Google phone, like whatever. They just go up in a number, and it's like consumers just know like, hey, that's the easiest way to like, hey, this the 16 is bigger than 15, so therefore it's better and it's newer and it's better. Um, I don't think it's gonna happen. I just love either. I don't know if I don't love this one here. There's two I'm with. Switch 4K or um, Super Switch. And I feel like we've been saying Super Switch for years now, but I don't know. I feel like that's just like Super Nintendo Switch. It brings you back to like, hey, like remember the Super Nintendo? And, like you can get that nostalgia in there, play in there. Maybe they do like some cool button shit with like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I because we talk about like say like worst case scenario happens for like Xbox stuff like that where we're just going full third party. Halo's coming, everything's coming. Like PlayStation, all right, PlayStation, like that's, and we were talking about all that. I don't want to get into that, but it's not crazy to think that, and I'm not rooting for this at all. Like I love what the Switch is doing. I want to keep going, so on and so forth. But it's not crazy to think that Gables, they can fuck this up. Like
Yes, they
it's
could.
it's not out of the realm of possible. Like who would have thought going at like in 2009, 2010, the Nintendo would go from where they were to like where they were basically for the next like almost decade. So it's not crazy to think that they can royally screw this whole thing up. I don't want that to happen. Obviously, nobody wants that to
It
happen. I shouldn't say that.
happens in the gaming industry more times than you think,
Yeah,
because you'll have one leader that's been the leader for quite a long time. They get too arrogant. They think they're untouchable, and all of a sudden another console goes and takes its place in terms of the top of the leaderboard stuff. But what I'm saying is like it's happened before with Nintendo, with the NES, with the Super Nintendo, PlayStation, when that becomes popular and stuff, and Nintendo screwed over a whole bunch of people in terms of their cartridge stuff on the N64, went to everyone, the developers went to PlayStation for the CD-based quality games at that point. PlayStation was a leader for their PS1, PS2. They dropped the ball with the launch of the PS3. Microsoft came in. They had the Xbox 360, a better system than what they had when they debuted with the Xbox and stuff. That was the leader for quite a few years. PS3 finally managed to somewhat catch up with sales towards the end of that cycle, but it was already too late. People synonymously know that like the Xbox 360, that was the hardcore gaming platform of
yeah,
choice. And then
yeah,
the Wii absolutely was the was definitely the number two in terms of like say the in that point of view, but in the casual market it was the number one up until well the last few years of its life because at that point people got fatigued so much with it.
yeah.
But
Nintendo was losing money. Yeah,
what I'm saying is it's there's so much room to mess up a console launch and there's so much possibilities where you could potentially screw up by having one wrong business decision. It could lead to major success, or it could lead to like sad, like depressing things. Like say Sega getting out of the console market because of the failure of the Dream, because of like the failure of the Saturn and stuff led
which
to an
led to the
excellent system, the
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, and the
Yeah,
Dreamcast getting pulled like in 2001.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, Xbox is still paying the sins of the Don Matrick era, and
Yep.
that he's been gone for a decade. It's like they're still
Yeah.
trying to fight off that, and like he put him so far behind on that. So and like I said, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, but it's not crazy that they can fuck this up. And usually when they fuck it up, it's coming off of like the highest of highs.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, do you like Super Nintendo Switch, or is there like a name you have in mind that you think would work for them?
Hmm.
They just like
I do I
they
do
did
like the
new.
name
Go
I
ahead.
do like the name Super Nintendo Switch because I can visualize it to where the aesthetics of the button layout and like the look of the system is reminiscent to a classic system. But if I had to make a if I did have to make like a guess of what the next console's name would be, I think it would probably be something along the lines of something kind of generic, personally. So I would
Mhm.
say like the Nintendo Switch, like the Nintendo Switch, not like 4K, but like
Switch
the
U.
Nintendo Switch Next or something
What
like that.
what if it's Switch but with two eyes?
What is it? What if it's a Switch or something with four Joy Cons?
Oh god, yeah. It's like the controller's just a bop it. Uh,
You have two slidable things on the side, and you have two of them on the top and
yeah,
bottom.
yeah. God, it's just a yeah, it's a rectangle. Good lord, yeah. I don't know, like, yeah. Obviously, yeah. I'm just, I don't know. I like I said, I'm just kind of at the point now where it's like I just want to just see the goddamn thing at this point, and I hope it
Yes.
is because I just want to like, I just want to be able to see it, so like I don't have to hear about rumors anymore. I don't have to hear about fucking, like people losing their goddamn mind. And yeah, and like just we can get the ball rolling, see the game, stuff like that, because it's been a lot of years of this like what Switch Pro and what the next Switch when's gonna come out. So uh, at this point, just for my sanity, I just not even. I think more for my sanity than the excitement as a fan. I just want to see the fucking thing. Um, let's move on here. Final Fantasy VII had a state of play
Mm.
on Tuesday. I did a live reaction to it. If you're a fan of that of Final Fantasy, just don't watch it. The game's coming out. Just play the demo. I'll talk about the demo later, but just play the demo. Um, go ahead.
Oh man, I'm just saying, man. If you're waiting to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and you watched that initial state of play stuff, I mean, yeah, man, you fucking spoiled yourself a lot with
Yeah,
what's going on inside that thing, dude. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I was surprised how much in depth detail they went in terms of the initial cinematic trailer towards the beginning of the state of play.
show the end of the goddamn game.
Dude, what's hilarious about that? What's hilarious about that is just the reaction of like other people, especially with guys like Maximilian Dude who loves Final Fantasy VII is going in there. And what's hilarious, man, is like when he started watching that state of play, he literally started watching. It's like, I don't think I should be seeing this, all right? And all of a sudden he's like, he literally just goes, okay, okay, I'm out, guys. he just
Yeah,
goes and walks away, and he's just peering over by the side, and just
yeah.
doing like this little thing. Okay, I'm watching to too much.
Yeah. It's like it's one of those things where I'm like, who is this for? Because like, if you're someone that's like not a hardcore fan of this thing, like this means nothing to you. And if you're
Yeah,
someone that like knows the story and loves it, and knows the games, like it's kind of spoiling a lot. So it's like, why the fuck am I seeing this? Um, but yeah, it's if you guys want to watch it, it's out there, I guess. But just play the goddamn demo. What you play in the demo does carry over to the main game, which is great. So,
oh,
um,
good.
yeah. But moving on here to our we got a December Circana report here. This is the top 20 selling games of excuse me, God, of December. So um, we should be getting the new one for January here soon, like a couple weeks now. So, but this is all December, so like the last month, obviously, before Christmas and shit like that. So, we're just gonna run through this real fast because it's kind of old news here. Number 20, we have USC 5. Number 19, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Number 18, Just Dance 2024. Number 17, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Number 16, jumped all the way from 41 back to 16, Elden Ring. Jedi Survivor 15. God of War Ragnarok was 14. Had a little bit of a bump probably because of the DLC. Minecraft was 13. Unfortunately, Sonic Superstars was 12. Um, Mario RPG was 11. Mario Kart I'm sorry. Mario Kart 8 was 10. NBA 2K24 was 9. 8 was Mario Kart. Jesus Christ. Mortal Kombat was number 8. God damn, it was like starts with the M and there's like more. Anyways, EA Sports FC 24 is number 7. Avatar, which is the only brand new game from December that's on the list here, was number 6. Spider-Man 2 was number 5. Hogwarts Legacy was number 4. Madden NFL 24 was 3. Mario Wonder actually went from 5th to 2nd this month for number 2, and then number 1, no surprise, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 2023. So
Hmm.
yeah,
You know,
I don't. Go ahead.
there's a couple interesting things about that list. One, how low Tears of the Kingdom was instead of the December like Circana stuff, because like that game, how many months was it on market or something like that before that point? I mean,
Which game?
oh, Tears of the Kingdom, did that release like in May, June or
Yeah, it's
something
May
of
12th.
2023?
Yeah.
Okay, May 12th, 2023 and stuff, and it dropped all the way down to the 17th and
Well,
stuff
the
from that
previous in
holiday season.
November it was 33rd, so it wasn't even on the
Oh
list.
wow. Okay, so it actually jumped up a bit. Good.
Yeah.
Probably because of sales at that point.
Yeah, it might have
But
been like a
yeah,
$50
Mario
thing.
Wonder actually going from where it was like in November all the way up to number 2
Yeah.
in terms of like the sales just under Call of Duty. I think that's a great testament to how good that game is,
Yeah.
because there was a whole bunch of positive reviews, whole bunch of positive word of mouth. The game itself is so freaking crazy and so awesome. So it really doesn't surprise me that it's sticking within the top 10, but wow, dude. Wow, just right in the second place slot and stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was weird because it went from the opening month was 5th, and no, it came out in October, October 20th. Never mind. But yeah, I mean it's pretty surprising to see it jump back up a little bit there. Um, no other like Mario Kart 8 went from 21st to 10th, but I imagine a lot of that's probably because of Switch bundles.
Yep.
But yeah, for the most part, I mean it's kind of what you expect here. A lot of I think December sometimes is kind of the weakest month because there's not a lot of new stuff coming out. It's just kind of like
Yep.
it was kind of interesting. All right, cool. What's selling in the holidays, stuff like that. But I mean, this year it's kind of like there's a lot of big holiday games that came out this year. I thought so. No real surprise there. Um, but a couple little things here for other news this week. Apparently there is a Persona 2 and 4 remaster in the work. Not like a remake, but remasters. And then last but not least here, it sounds like GTA 6 what was reportedly supposed to come out in the first quarter of 2025. Now it sounds like it's coming out after April.
Oh, wow.
So that's based off of like they didn't announce that, but kind of based off of like Take 2K just did their Take Two just did their quarterly report, and they were expecting to have a massive increase in revenue this next fiscal year, which goes through April 1st. And now that went down quite a bit. So people are, I mean, you assume the big uptick would have been the new GTA game, and now that revenue went down. So you're probably going to assume that's probably the big change there. Um,
Oh. Hmm.
yeah. So all right, let's get into what we've been playing. Gables, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first, buddy?
You know what? I'm gonna go first because I don't have too much to talk about in terms of that. Obviously, I've been playing more Pokemon Diamond. My playthrough has now passed over 30 hours. It's definitely the longest one I've done in a while for a Pokemon playthrough, especially the older games. Honestly, the hours are almost like reminiscent to what I did play for, like, say, Sword and Shield and like Scarlet Violet. That sort of time investment. And I've been enjoying my playthrough. Obviously, I've been rediscovering different things I haven't done in quite a while. Pokemon Crystal really isn't the version I play through a lot. I think maybe this is like my fourth playthrough in its entirety. I mean, the first playthrough I did was in 2001 when it released. Then obviously, like, I played through it. I think I played through it like once or twice. I think on Game Boy Color, then once on the 3DS before, and now I'm just doing like a replay of it currently. But I finally beat the Pokemon League and the champion with my team in Johto. I was inside of my Pokemon were in their levels of their 40s and stuff. And let me just tell you something, man. That final battle with Lance, that was probably one of the toughest things like I actually overcame with this team. Because here's how it started out. It's like I started out with my Weeping Bell Dudley, right, against his Gyarados. So his Gyarados is like first foremost. He usually leads with that Pokemon. I use Sleep Powder. I did like a couple of like growth and stuff to increase the special attack, and I finally was able to whittle down life points and stuff. Take out his Gyarados, right? And so what comes in next and stuff he has is I think he has his Aerodactyl and stuff, and I managed to somehow take out the Aerodactyl. But what was weird about this matchup and stuff is I had to contend with like freaking not just the Charizard, but also like three freaking Dragonites. So this battle went back and forth, right? Like he was knocking out a couple of my Pokemon, like he knocked out my Weeping Bell, knocked out my Feraligatr, Dingleberg and stuff, but not before Dingleberg took out like two out of the three freaking Dragonites and stuff. Like the last Dragonite, his level 51 had outrage. What had happened was I had my Crobat in, and Crobat knows fly, knows like bite, all of the other stuff. I timed it just right to where I kept using fly while he was using outrage. So it was like on the third or fourth like try with outrage and stuff that let's see, he ended up hitting me. I was like maybe close to like about a quarter of my health and stuff. And the thing about outrage is you can use it like 3 to 4 times in a row. Like you can't like get out. It locks into that attack. There after that and that initial sequence happens, the Pokemon gets confused. And so what happened was when I knew like he tried to attack me with outrage to begin with, I used fly. So he like missed two outrages and stuff, but he hit me with two. I had a little bit of quarter health. The deciding factor of that whole match was his Dragonite gets confused, and not just that, but he hits himself like he hurts himself in confusion and knocks himself out. It was that clutch moment, man. And it was awesome because at that point I was like, okay, I want to get through the Pokemon League and the champion, and I did it on my first try with this team. So they were in their close to their mid 40s. As soon as I got to the post game and did a lot of that stuff, first thing I did went to Saffron City, taught Haunter, Psychic, got rid of Dream Eater, got rid of like Hypnosis because both of those moves are not good together because Hypnosis has a 30% hit rate, right, of actually putting a Pokemon to sleep. Psychic, obviously, powerful move, can take out different types of ghost Pokemon and poison and whatsoever. But my other move was to go and get a Leaf Stone. There's one NPC where if you register her number, on occasion she'll actually get elemental stones and stuff. And so I had to wait until I actually cleared a couple of gym leaders until I finally got that call, raced back all the way to Goldenrod City, got the stone, evolved my Weeping Bell finally into Vitribell, and end up teaching the thing Sludge Bomb. It already had Razor Leaf and everything, but I managed to take out the rest of the Kanto gym leaders. The only one that really was a challenge was when I decided to, okay, let's face off against Sabrina first thing, with her friggin' level 43 Alakazam and stuff. Yeah, that was not a smart decision. Not only did it outsped, but it hit and knocked out, like knocked out my party members with 1 second attack because of how fast and how powerful the damn special attack is for that Pokemon. But nah, I beat all the other gym leaders and stuff. Right now, my party are aiming to get into the mid 50s. My initial goal is to have them all in mid 50s before going and facing off against Red and his team. Starts off with a level 81 Pikachu. I have to somehow make sure I don't get any type of like paralysis hit against one of my party members. But once it's down, I have a level 73 Espeon in order to try to take against, right? Espeon is similar to that of Alakazam to where it's speedy, it has a lot of special attack, and so what I have to do is be able to withstand one of those psychic attacks, because only one of my Pokemon did, and that was my Feraligatr. But yeah, it is very fast, very deadly. But all I know is as long as I take out the Pikachu, the Espeon, and obviously the Snorlax and stuff, because that's Red's team, Pikachu, Espeon, Snorlax, and then the three starters evolve, so Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. all of those, I have to go through, and they're like in their 70s. Obviously, the one with that the 81 and stuff for Pikachu. But yeah, other than that, though, I mean, that's going to be the final part of like the Pokemon Crystal playthrough. I know I'm got at least about an hour or two, I think, left until I can finally challenge Red and see how crazy this matchup's going to be. But yeah, that's it for me for what I've been playing.
All right. I've been playing a couple games. One I already talked about last week. I'm gonna talk about Final Fantasy Rebirth first. I played the
Okay.
demo. Um, I was when they did the state of play, like I'm like, oh okay, they're doing like, I wasn't gonna play it because I thought it wasn't gonna be like the very beginning. I didn't want to like play a section then replay it again in a few weeks. The cool thing is like I don't know if the Nibelheim flashback is the very beginning, but it's once you leave Midgard, like in the main game, the first game, um, the original Final Fantasy 7. I guess I don't know. It's so difficult now when we talk about this thing, but that's like about I don't know 20 minutes or so to an hour, depending on what you do. After you leave Midgard, like to when you get to the Nibelheim flashback, if I remember correctly. Um, so I'm guessing this is like either right at the beginning or this is like this is either the very beginning or it's close to the beginning of the game. So like, all right, cool. And it's about a 2 hour and a half to 2 hour section, depending on what you do. And it's like I said, it's the Nibelheim flashback. It takes place, I believe, about 5 years before the like Final Fantasy 7, like where modern day is. And like it's kind of like the origin story of like Sephiroth and like kind of him becoming evil and like with him and Cloud of like why they have this rivalry. Um, and my God, Gables, it's just so fucking cool. It's so hype. I love it. Um, like they do like there's like the famous photo, like the famous image of him on like on Sephiroth, like with the flame and stuff like that. It
Hmm.
was so cool. Like when I played remake the first time, when it came out launch 2020, I had no idea what any of that. Like they kind of teased it in the first game a lot, but I didn't understand it, didn't know what it meant. And then when I replayed it again in 2022, I played Final Fantasy 7, the original one, and then went back and played it, and it was like everything was like it just made everything so much better, and like everything meant so much more replaying. Like playing it a second time, now knowing where everything leads to, and obviously I already knew like some of the big like obviously the end of disc one what that meant, but yeah, man, like seeing that like in like but 2024 graphics, oh my god, it's so beautiful. This game shouldn't look this goddamn good. Gables, Tifa shouldn't be this hot. I shouldn't have these type of thoughts about an animated character. But anyways, um, it's the cool thing is Gables, the first person you play as in this goddamn game, you play as fucking Sephiroth, which is incredible. They
Huh.
built a whole fucking like battle system for him as a guy like I'm assuming you'll never like in the original game. I don't believe you ever play as Sephiroth again. You don't actually play as Sephiroth in the original game. So like they built this whole battle system for a guy that you're probably not gonna actually play anymore for the rest of this franchise. Um, but like he was awesome. He had this whole like it was fun just playing as him. And like I just love like how much they added to it and like the way they like kind of like lean into like all the like the funny dumb shit like why is Tifa and like a cowboy get like outfit and everything like that. And it's like they kind of keep that around and like they kind of lean into it. It's like she's just but I love it and like they make him fucking like some of the scenes like in I don't want to spoil it, like a lot of this, but like for people like just play it, but like they definitely do a great job of making like Sephiroth like just a incredible like at the end of that demo, like they just make him like the ultimate bad guy.
Hmm.
That last like 10 minutes is just incredible what they do with him. But like the boss fight, oh my god, my eyes welled. I got chills. So during there's a fight like he's guys a materia guardian I believe he's like well like the main boss of like this flashback, and he's towards the end of the demo, and you're fighting with you're fighting a Sephiroth and Cloud. You can switch between them, and there's always like that. There's the Final Fantasy 7 like their main battle theme, and
Hmm.
they tie in like just mix in Sephiroth's theme with the battle theme, and
Whoa.
it was just it was so good. And like when they go and they hit that, I can't. I have no rhythm, but if no beat, whatever. But like if you know what I mean, if you know the Sephiroth theme, you kind of know where I'm going. But that part hit, I like it just like it all mixed at like, the perfect time, and I just like instantly got chills, and I was like once again like I got so hyped and so I got so many chills and goosebumps that my eyes welled up. I'm like, this is incredible. Like it wasn't like the boss fight was cool, but it was like the music, just like everything with it. Like it's like Final Fantasy 16. Sometimes like it's like everything. It's just a combination of everything that just makes everything so much better. And like man, like this is the same thing again here. I'm so happy with this. Like we thought about like it's so easy for Nintendo to fuck up the next console. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Square Enix completely fucks this whole thing up. This is the same company that put. I know it's different entire team and different and everything like that, but they put out Foam Stars this week, and that's a whole nother conversation. So yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything for people that maybe they haven't played the remake yet and are planning on it or are currently doing it because none of the games coming out soon, or maybe you're planning on playing the demo you just haven't got around to yet. But man, it's so good. Um, and it's like if you had any concerns, like it's just they did a great job of like they didn't completely overhaul anything. They just built upon what they have so far, and man, it's so good. And I'm gonna put like 40 hours into just the gold saucer alone. That's yeah. I'm gonna put more time in the gold saucer, I think, than I will probably the rest of the game combined. And then the other game I've been playing this week, unfortunately, is Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. I did finish it. I beat it. I beat it on Tuesday. It was funny, like I was putting the show notes together and putting all the information together today, and I was like typing in what I've been playing. And I was like, oh yeah, I beat Suicide Squad. I beat that game on Tuesday, and I beat that game, and I just never thought about it. I gave it zero thought after I beat it. I was just like, all right, well that's the thing I played, and it was just like, yeah, it was just like I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna talk about like what do I even have to say, like. I kind of went back. I started listening to like what I talked about last week when I was like 5 hours in, and it's like everything I said after 5 hours in, it's kind of the same. Where it's just the game doesn't evolve ever. Like after like 3 or 4 hours, you kind of like outside of the story, obviously. Um, as far as gameplay goes, you've experienced the game. They don't really add any new abilities. They don't add. There's no new map. Like the map is the map from the beginning of the game, which could be good or bad. But like, it looks like there's another section they're gonna open up. Like, oh, okay, at a certain point they're gonna like add that over. Unlock. That never happened. Like the so they finally like about halfway through the main story, they they do like because there's no fast travel in the game. They finally give you a fast travel point to the Hall of Justice, which is where like the Justice League's like home base is, and like you can fast travel because that's basically where like that's where all like the people are. Argus is. That's where you gotta go talk to the 17 different merchants in there with your 47 different types of currency that never makes any sense to you. Just like every other fucking games and service game has. And what's stupid though is like you think when you like build out this map, you would put it like in the center or make it like a like you want to put it in a place where like all right, this is the middle, and I can like it's kind of like we play Tears of the Kingdom. Like the home base in Tears of the Kingdom is pretty much not dead center, but it's pretty close to the middle.
Yeah.
But I guess also they have like 12 different other fast travel points as well. This game has one, and it's the Hall of Justice, and it's in the very southeast part of the map. And it's like, why? Like, so you built one fast travel point, and you put it in the furthest corner of the map from everything else. And I was doing a bunch of, there's like, I don't know, 15, 20 different like side missions you can do for each character, but they're all like just there's only like 4 different types of like actual missions in the game, and they're all kind of like the same mission over and over again. Like I talked about, like one is like, all right, you got to go save people for Argus, and you put them on your little Pokeball thing, and you take them to the bus, and you get like you have to like fight the enemies to like save them from them, bring them to the bus, and the bus takes off, and then your mission's solved. Or like, hey, there's an A and a B section, and like we're trying to hack into this, but enemies are taking it over. And it's almost like domination in like Call of Duty or something, where like you gotta like they're taking Bravo, and you gotta shoot all and kill all the enemies, and like knock them out of the area, so then you can hack, and then take that over, and you gotta basically do that until you just get both. And then there's one other one, but anyways, they're all like basically the same thing with like a different color paint on it. And then the side missions are all those over again, but they had a thing where it's like, well, you can only kill enemies with grenades, or you can only kill. So there's like like you can only kill people with counter or with melee or counterattacks. Melees you can only kill people by it's like they rip it right out of like Doom and Doom Eternal, where like in Doom and Doom Eternal, like you like shoot an enemy enough before you kill them, they'll have like a glow over them. You can melee them,
Yep.
and they'll drop ammo and health and shield stuff like that. This game does the same thing where you can shoot them in the leg, and then that will do it, and you get like a blue glow, and you can melee them. And what's annoying though is like at a certain point you get like this thing called affliction, which is like it's almost like a like um, some enemies will burst into flame, while your freeze enemies are like a poison one where like they'll go crazy and they'll start attacking their own teammates. But when you do that, you can't do melee. Like you can't do the thing where they turn blue and you can eliminate them that way. So there was one side mission I was doing. I did like 3 times, and you have to like, it was one of those ones where you had to like kill them all in a certain amount of time, but you can only kill them through the melee attack. And like I turned off all the affliction, so none of my weapons, nothing I did any affliction damage. So because you can't kill them if they're like being affected by that. And I don't know what was doing it. I took them off, all of the bots in my team. I took them off myself, and they were still fucking getting afflicted. And so I couldn't count. So like 3 times in this mission, and I couldn't defeat them in the time limit because I'm like, well, fuck, I can't kill them because they're being. I was like fucking pulling my goddamn hair out. I'm like, this fucking, like, why am I even doing it? I hit the wall where I'm just like, why? I'm not even liking this. Why am I doing these? Like, the reason I was doing, like, oh, they take 2-3 minutes, and like I'm just doing them to do, like, there's no benefit really. You get when you do a mission, you get one gun and you get one side thing. That's all you get, and half the shit doesn't even, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like you get you build up combos and shit. Like, oh, you had a 40 times combo, so you can do more damage, like, and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. I don't even notice the combo when I'm playing the fucking game. Like, all the skill trees are based around, like, most of the skill trees abilities you get from this are all pretty much all based around fucking the combo meter going up, and like, oh, you do more damage from headshots with the combo meter. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, you don't feel anything. There's no, like, when you shoot people, you don't feel like the effects of actually hitting anybody. There's just so much color and so much bullshit just thrown at you that nothing fucking matters. I don't even know when I'm getting hit. I don't even know when I'm hitting them. I don't know when I'm killing them. Nothing. It just, nothing fucking matters. And I got to the point where, like, there was like certain missions you do, like, hey, if you play as Harley, you get double XP from doing these missions. But I was playing the whole thing as Deadshot because he's just kind of like the all around guy. And I was playing through him, and I just playing as Harley, and all, like, they all have like different abilities, and like they all have different ways to, like, get around the map, and they all just fucking suck. Like, the traversal is garbage on all of them. But it's like Deadshot's just like, he has a jetpack, so it's probably the easiest, like, one, especially when you're in combat trying to like traversal around. It's just fucking chaos. There's just so much bullshit happening on the screen that doesn't fucking matter, that it just sucks. All of it sucks. And I was doing these side missions, and I was doing, like, why am I playing as these characters? Like, I barely like playing as Deadshot, and I'm maining him. Why am I doing that? Like, why am I playing as Captain fucking Boomerang? I don't give a fuck about his shit. I don't want to go around with the shotgun. Like, his traversal with the fucking Boomerang sucks. Fucking the whole goddamn, like, so at a certain point, I'm just gonna play through all the shit as Deadshot. I don't give a shit about the boosts or anything like that, because, like, it doesn't matter, because, like, doing these side quests, like, why am I doing it? Because, like, when you finally hit level 30, you have to go to, like, you have to the level cap with each individual character. You have to play, like,
Okay.
they don't all gain, like, playing. You gotta go and play as all of them to hit level 30. And then when you hit level 30, there's, like, the master skill tree, and they just never end. And then, like, every time you can go up a level, Gables, you know what you get? You can you can get, like, hey, your HP, your max HP goes up by 0.5%.
Oh.
Your attack goes up 0.5%. Your critical hit rate goes up 0.75%. That's it. That's the fucking, like, master skill tree when you hit the level cap with, like, with your main. And I was like, I hit that with, like, 2 missions to go, and I'm like, why am I why am I wasting any more? So I finally just, like, went to the end, and I finally just stopped in the side missions, because, like, I'm not even liking this. I'm just getting madder, but I don't know why. Like, but it's just like I'm just a dumb fucking human being that likes to see numbers go up, I guess. I don't know why I was doing them, but anyways, I finally get to the end. the fucking spoiler, Brainiac's the final boss. You fight Brainiac, and it is literally Gables, fucking literally a repeat of a former boss fight.
What?
Yes,
Really?
you just okay. Spoiler. I'm just gonna Gables. You don't care about spoil fucking.
No, I don't care. I'm
All
not
right.
gonna play this game.
So you fight like Flash, Green Lantern, Batman, and Superman, and then Brainiac. Those are like the 5 main fights. They're
Yeah.
all basically the same fight, but like they all kind of happen in like an arena, and they're all kind of the same formula, and they all are Batman. You would think Batman Gables would be potentially the coolest one.
Yeah.
By far the worst.
Oh wow.
It fucking terrible. They try to do like it's a playoff of like the Scarecrow missions from like the Arkham games, but it's somehow 10 times worse. Where you just fight. It's like honestly, it reminds me of remember the end of Mass Effect 2, that final boss fight,
Yes.
where you're just fighting the giant fucking human Spectre or whatever the fuck it
Yep.
is. It's just that mission. It's literally that mission, but with like then that's all it is, and it's you're just shooting this giant fucking Batman Scarecrow thing, and it is trash. I'm like
Wow.
this is it. This is the boss fight, and then the Flash and Green Lantern and Superman ones are all the same, like basically the same. That you're in an arena, you gotta counterattack them. Like they have like a willpower. You gotta knock the willpower down, and then you can do damage to them. That's what I want to do. I want to kill the will of the Justice League, and then you just counter shot them, and then you shoot them, and then like you just kill them, and then, like spoiler, you killed the Justice League. And then you get the Brainiac, and Brainiac is literally he just uses the Flash's ability. So you're just fighting Brainiac, but as the Flash, and that's the final mission, and it sucks. And then Gables, you want to know what the end game shit is? So they set it up, Gables. They set it up for you. This is the end of the Arkham world, the Arkham universe. This is how it ends. This is the whole thing. You kill Batman. Batman's just dead. That Batman you played in 3 games, technically 4, you just killed him. He's dead. It just doesn't fucking matter. None of it fucking matters. So Gables, the end. So what you do was like before you go and fight Brainiac, you got to do these 3 things to like take down his defenses to like go in and fight him. But you don't fight the Brainiac in your world. You fight Brainiac in the multiverse. You fight a different Brainiac from a different universe. So you go to Earth 2, you fight that Brainiac, you kill the Flash Brainiac. But when you do these 3 missions that break down their defenses, you have to earn enough points to then therefore go fight Brainiac.
Okay.
But when you find out the reason why this Brainiac is taking over, he's taken over all 13. There's 13 Brainiacs, and they've all taken over all their worlds by teaming up together.
Okay.
So you have to like do this rinse, wash, repeat of fighting, of like doing these fucking bullshit defense missions that earn you enough points. So then once you earn enough points, then you can go in and fight fucking Brainiac again. You got to fight all 13 Brainiacs. You have to do these missions 13 times. The same missions over and over again 13 times to finally actually beat the game.
How the fuck is anybody supposed to want to do that? That is
I don't know.
Dude, what it sounds like to me is this is how they combated the whole aspect of having like a lot of those like freaking like live service aspects to this game. They just made it incredibly stupid to where they wanted to repeat the same type of missions literally 13 times. 13 times in order for you to try to beat this game. They thought hey, let's just have all these different universes that Brainiac goes through and infests and stuff, and with his influence, with his everything else, that you're going to go to each individual universe from those different aspects of the DC universe, and you're going to have to go forth and do these exact same missions and exact same things again. It's like, that is so fucking lazy.
Yeah,
and it would not be a thing if they actually focused on good quality content with just the one overworld.
Yeah. I just like I talked about last week, Gables. It's funny. I was like, I have nothing more to say, and I just went on for 15-minute rant about this thing. It's just like
it's the PTSD.
Yeah, definitely. Like, man, I wasted like a good chunk of my fucking vacation on this fucking thing. It was like I was like actively like playing when I was playing this game. I would stop it and actively go do other stuff just to not play this game anymore. Like to stop playing the game. Like I just pause it and I just go wander off for like 30, 40 minutes. because I don't want to play it anymore. But I'm like, I bought it. I need to, I'm on, like, I play it. Like, I'm the story is great. The character, like everything, the voice acting, all that is so good. Metropolis is a cool fucking world, and it's just everything in it sucks. Like this playing the game moment to moment is awful, and it's just like that. I don't know, 5% of the time when you're not playing the game, and you're watching the game, it's awesome. And I just like like one of the biggest selling points is the fact that it's like, oh, it's like the sequel to Arkham and like that universe, and it's like, but it's also like the biggest, massive, most fucking insulting thing you can do to this is like by saying that, like, okay, I get it, but it's like, this is how you treat that Batman. That's how you treat him. This is Kevin Conroy's last time as that Batman. I just I can't believe it. Like,
Disgraceful.
yeah, like I don't even know how much I blame the devs. Like this is probably just some
I blame
C-suite
Warner
people.
Brothers. I don't blame really the devs. I think
Yeah,
it's Warner Brothers because they wanted this to be a free-to-play game. They knew that
well,
how
games of
popular that,
service. Yeah,
yeah, the game's the service game. They knew how popular this Batman series of games were, and they just wanted more of that as a live service until gamers did a backlash thing when like Suicide Squad was first revealed and stuff, and then the leaked photos of it being like sort of like that game's the service thing where you
mm-hmm.
have to do similar things to like a looter shooter type of shit, and they lost their shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, man, it's just like I can have fun. Like I played a lot of 7 out of 10s, and I have fun with them. Like I love playing a game that like I can just put a podcast on and just like lose time in. I've put a lot of time in like Destiny or fucking like Fortnite and shit like that. Where I just put a pod. I'm not even listening like to the audio. I'm just listening to podcasts and I'm just zoning out. And it's like it's junk food. And like I don't have to pay attention. I just don't. I'm putting in minimal attention, and I'm just I'm having a good time like that. And this sucks. This is like bad Taco Bell.
Oh god.
It's like you buy it and you're excited for it, and it's just like, oh, this has like been sitting under a fucking a light for 3 hours. This is that game.
It's
Um,
all crusty. I mean,
yeah,
it's not tasty
it's hard.
whatsoever. It tastes
Yeah,
dry.
dried out.
The
Yeah,
chicken is a little bit chewy. Then all of
yeah.
a sudden it's like
It's like, is
all of
that
a
food
sudden you
poisoning?
get food poisoning from it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. That's this game. Man, it's just what could have been.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know. Like, I just hope that the employees there don't have to pay the price because some dumb shits that don't understand how video games work made them make this game, and then a bunch of people are gonna lose their job. Which, unfortunately, it's probably what's gonna happen. I won't be shocked in a few months. This game didn't meet what they were expecting for sales wise, and then they have to lay a bunch of
Yep.
people off. Um, but that'll probably happen, and it's unfortunate because um, man, we know that team is fucking incredibly talented. But I don't know, like if you thought this game was gonna be anything when the creators left of Rocksteady left last year, that should have been like, hey, like
Red
giant,
flag.
yeah, red flag there. Hey, this is not gonna be great. But yeah, I don't know. I was like I said, I was hoping to like I wasn't expecting like a 9 out of 10. I was like, if this could just be like a fun 12, 15 hour, you know, just give me a good time with a good story, and like that's all I'm asking for here. And it's like so much worse than that. So much worse than like even like I was like expecting like, hey, it's like I was saying a few weeks ago. I'm like I'm expecting like a low 70s, maybe high 60s score for this thing, and it's like I think
50
it's like
something.
it's at a 63, and that's too high.
Yeah.
It's just too high. I don't understand how it's a 63. Um, I'd rather play Redfall
Yeah.
than
You know your game is bad that you know when your game is bad is when you have negative reviews taken off of it freaking on Steam.
yeah. What's weird though, Gables, is it's like on Steam, like it's 84% positive reviews.
Dude, there was
Like
over 9,000, I think, negative reviews on that damn thing on Steam, apparently. And a lot of that stuff was taken off literally overnight. Like
I
literally
didn't see that.
overnight, and now it's got like an 83% like positive or something like that on Steam.
Okay, maybe that.
Which kind
Okay,
of
I
which you
didn't
know
hear that.
what? I think it's really telling though. I feel like WB is trying to scrub any type of negativity off of this game already because of how terrible the commercial scores are and how heavily this thing is being advertised on TV. I mean,
Yeah.
for God's sakes, in the middle of NBA games, like my dad was
Yeah.
watching the Warriors game tonight. They won, by the way, but they were playing Suicide Squad commercials inside of this fucking
Yeah.
NBA game, like during the commercial breaks, during all these
Well,
other like
it was
TV
on
events.
TNT, which is a
Yeah,
WB uh uh channel, so that makes sense. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, well, Gables, I'm after this podcast, I'm gonna try to scrub every memory I have of this fucking game from my brain. So I'm gonna have to drink like 7 more beers, but I'll get there.
and turn it
Um,
into GameStop.
yeah, definitely gonna trade it. Like, yeah, trade in the GameStop and hopefully get some value back in that. Which I don't know. That game was not worth anything, so it shouldn't be worth anything. It's a fucking turd. But anyways, um, that's it for the show this week. I really did not anticipate a 20-minute rant on Suicide Squad. I thought I was gonna spend like 5 minutes on it and move on with my life, but I just had to get that out before I moved on. So,
So overall, how like what would you rate Suicide Squad if you had to give it a number?
out of 10,
Yeah.
oh boy, like it's not horribly It's not broken. There's some bugs. Like there's some frame rate drops, but it's not like I would say it's pretty polished. You know, it's like there were some weird issues I had here and there, but it wasn't like overly. So it's like I don't want to sit there and say it's a 4, or anything like it's bad. Um, I would say like I think like IGN like a 5 is okay.
Okay.
I'd say okay. Yeah, I'd say a 5, maybe 4.75. Like 4.7. I'm gonna break the rules. I'm gonna do quarter star here. Quarter stars. I'm gonna do 4.75 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Um,
that's fair enough.
yeah. So, anyways, uh, yeah, that's all. That's pretty much the podcast for this week. If you guys stuck around to the end here, we appreciate it. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, or if you listen to us on Apple or Spotify or any other podcast service, do the same thing. 5-star review, leave comments, share with your friends, tell your friends. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. There are links down below in the description, so if you can just click on those, they'll take you right to where you need to go. And check us out on there, retweets, all that stuff. Appreciate if you did that for us. But I was Tyler.
I've been Colonel Gables. Until next time, everyone, have yourself a fun time playing some awesome video games, and thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk-Nerds Podcast.
And hey, Gables.
Yeah.
If I mail you my copy of Suicide Squad, would you play it? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. That's
I
mean.
hope you don't.
Yeah. I would never do that. That's just too mean. That's too mean. All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.